Oh, I actually named it. Oh no, I'll shut myself out. Oh, actually. Oh,
Again? No. Oh! Oh, that couldn't have been any waterier. Oh my word! See, that's what happens when you stop being a vegan.
Even I can't stick it. Oh, Jesus.
Here we go. Ready?
Oh, I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Arr. So, welcome back to another Celluloid Misfits, and we were planning to watch Sleepaway Camp. Planning to, only we had a disc issue, so we've got that coming back, and then we've decided instead to watch Poltergeist.
One of my favourites.
It's been a long time since I've seen this, actually.
Oh, really?
Like a long time.
This is like a Halloween staple for me. It's like one of the, those 5 movies. No, you're not supposed to show it off like that. It's supposed to be subtle, George.
Oh, sorry, hang on. I'll turn it to me.
Yes, because I have mine on my side.
It's subtle. Tobe Hooper. Chaz.
Tobe Hooper, the famous Tobe. Now, there was a bit of a speculation that Tobe Hooper actually didn't direct much of this film.
Oh, really?
Because it feels like a Speilberg film.
Funny enough.
Right?
Yeah. It's a wee bit more Hollywoody.
Yes.
Isn't it?
So there was a lot of speculation saying that did Tobe Hooper direct as much of it as they say? How much did Spielberg get involved in this? All of that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
And it does, whenever you watch it on repeat viewings, I mean, you just take for granted when it says directed by or filmed by, that it's like they did it. And back, obviously, in the 1930s and 40s, it wasn't uncommon for like 4 or 5 studio directors to get involved in one film. The likes of Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind had like 3 directors each.
Because it was a much bigger...
Yeah.
In a sense, a bigger risk for them and a bigger deal. It's a whole new thing. Whereas this, I mean, because Toby's stuff would be a bit raw.
Yes.
Compared to this, I would imagine. You know.
I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, you can't get more rough.
No.
Than that.
Exactly.
That felt like a snuff film the first time I watched that. I was like, is this actually
without a
real?
doubt. Yeah.
There's Joe Beth.
There is definitely a more polished.
Feel
to this movie, and that possibly is Spielberg's influence.
Yes,
all over,
definitely. And it's funny. A lot of people find this. That's what my dogs would be doing, and I'd be fucking raging if that happened. I wake up in the morning and I find that shit all over the place.
He is gorgeous.
I know, he's a beautiful dog. But what was I saying?
Yeah, we were talking basically about the director. So,
oh yes,
Spielberg, his influence
on the film. Yeah, it shows. It comes through. And Carol-Ann, go into the light, Carol-Ann.
When I was a kid, because obviously I watched a lot of these when I was very young.
Yeah.
This movie terrified me. You know.
That's what I was going to say. So. I still find this pretty effective. I still find this quite scary. And a lot of people are like, all of these snowflake Instagrammers are like, oh, Poltergeist is shit, it's funny. I'm like, guys, you're totally missing the point here. This was one of like the most groundbreaking horror films of its time.
Her fringe is scary enough. But she was so cute. But there was something really... Not scary. What's the word?
Sinister.
Yeah, even with her.
Yeah.
You know, there was just something as a kid.
Yeah.
That scared me. But you know, she actually now I'm looking at her, she's not unlike my daughter was.
She's
at that
really
age.
not unlike Tobe. Yeah.
When you see the old photos of her now at that age. Gosh.
Big Craig T. It was an interesting cast, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams, 2 actors who were actually pretty well known for comedy roles. You know, True. Craig T. Nelson did, of course, Coach on TV, the TV series. Jo Beth Williams had starred in a couple of comedy films, but is to me, she's like a Spielberg actress. She reminds me of the kind of actresses that he would have, like Dee Wallace and
all that kind of thing.
But very well cast, and Heather O'Rourke, who plays little Carol-Ann, had such a troubled history with these films.
Yeah, I know, right?
Being so unwell, making 3 films. Yeah. Well, notoriously, it's one of those that what a shot. That famous shot of her holding the TV. And I always wanted to live here.
So where is this?
It's supposed to be in California.
It looks very English.
Doesn't it? I think it's supposed to be in like the California hills or something.
But it does look like somewhere in England until you get into the town.
It is such a American suburb.
Yeah.
Like that's how, if I go into the American suburbs, that's what I would like to see. Beatrice Street. You know, Beatrice Street, actually just seeing her name there, Beatrice Street is the and we'll talk about Dominic Dunn and Heather work later as well.
And the bad font.
And the bad font and Jerry Goldsmith's excellent score. But who was I talking about? Beatrice Street. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for the Film Network. Have you ever seen it? Sylvia Met, Faye Dunaway's in it.
No, actually I haven't.
So it was a film that very, very, very well written film, very well directed film. That's an absolute masterpiece. Beatrice Straight was in it. She is only in it for about 2 minutes. Has, I think, one line. She won a Best Supporting Actress Oscar.
What?
Yeah. That's how good she was in those 2 minutes.
Wow.
And then she starred in this here. Oh, and Frank Marshall's behind this. I forgot that he produced it. So
yeah,
Frank, of course, produced Arachnophobia and a lot of Back to the Future.
Gosh, which is due for a 4K.
I sing that. I know I'm having to clench the purse strings at the minute.
That's more than I'm clenching.
Well, you know.
Well.
So
top
George,
up, darling, top up.
Well, you know, I don't really need one, but
look
I'll
at
take
this.
it.
He just nicked somebody's bike.
So it's like he's trying to keep up with the goodies.
Which I saw last week on the big screen.
Oh, how fabulous would that have been?
It was something else. Do you know what? There's certain movies that I missed on the big screen as a kid.
Yeah.
And watching that took me back.
Well, we're not now going to have an opportunity to go and see Exorcist, Scream, all those films that we wanted to see on the big screen. We're not now. Back. Because
and
we're on it.
This would have been good. Another cracker on the big screen.
This was coming. This was one of the ones listed.
Oh yes, of course it was.
So,
fuck.
So because Omniplex have decided to close during this 4-week period,
well,
we
but that's beautiful. Even
it's a gorgeous
isn't it?
house. So Dominic Dunn. So Dominic Dunn plays the eldest daughter in the film. This is her here.
What's going on?
He fell off the bike and dropped his beer, and I would be fucking. See if he walked into my house and there was spray like that going everywhere. I'd be like, jumping on him. Fuck out. But this is the 80s.
Yeah. Nobody cared if they spilled beer over their lovely carpet.
Nah. It was only in the 90s when they looked at their walls and seen the fucking.
Look at that little nod to his friend George Lucas.
Yes, little Star Wars. Yeah, he always did wee things like that, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And put like wee ETs and stuff in there and Star Wars poster in the background.
Covered in it.
So Dominic Dunn, who played the eldest daughter in this film, after this film was released, she was in a relationship with a guy and he shot her on her front lawn. That was one of the most well-known deaths from surrounding this film, because it's obviously one of these cursed films.
It's covered,
covered in numerous documentaries about being cursed and how it was they used real skeletons in the swimming pool scene and all of that crazy stuff. You know, but I mean, the real terror is that real people got killed, you know, that were involved in this, including Dominique, who couldn't obviously return for the rest of the sequels because she was dead. Yeah. But is that a deer?
I was going to say, it looks like it's obviously a lawn ornament, but I think it's a small deer.
Never noticed that before ever in my life. I always wondered if this worked, you know, the change in the channels. Yeah. And I did used to stand. Oh, well, I never got it to work. Yeah. So mine wasn't as good then. Maybe in the 80s it worked, but in the 90s
in friends' houses, I remember if they did have the same TV, we used to stand in their garden and joke with them and turn it up and turn it down and turn it over. Yeah, it does work. Ooh, look at that toilet seat cover.
Toilet seat cover is disgusting.
That reminds me of my nannies back in the 80s. Uh-oh.
I mean, if you hadn't taken so long to flush the thing. So what are your memories of Poltergeist?
Well, like, I honestly would say it's been about definitely over 20 years since I've last seen it.
Really?
Yeah, so I think the last time I would have watched this would have been in my younger days, maybe even into my teen years. I would have watched it again. Yeah. But I always loved it, and again, as a kid, certain elements of it terrified me. Yeah. Because there is a more polished feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre would have terrified you because of the realism.
Yeah.
This just gripped you. You know, Spielberg movies have that ability to pull you in. It's the same with watching The Goonies. It was on the big screen. It was an emotional watch for me because it brought back a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia. So watching this does the same thing. It pulls you in, and without having to be like today's horror movies with the torture porn, the gore, the loud noises, things like that. This is a genuine horror. Yeah. Definitely.
For me, I imagine this is what a real haunting would look like more. Obviously, it does get, like, some of the special effects later on in the film get a wee bit ridiculous in the tree and things.
Understandably,
but, you know, they're catering to an audience who want to be entertained. You know, they're not going there. But for me, the first hour of this film, whenever, you know, these ominous clouds appear as they are right now, and then the chairs move and things. I feel like this to me would probably be much more realistic than The Conjuring.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. The Conjuring, I do love the Conjuring movies, but there's a modern day use of those loud noises, you know, the music, the screeches of there's just too much of it. Whereas had they went down the line of I think like Woman in Black, it kind of harked back to the classic kind of it kind of went back to that kind
of... The stage play is fantastic. Have you ever seen the stage play?
I would
very,
like to
very
see
effective.
It. But yeah, so this it has definitely sat with me, and it's not one.
So even though you haven't seen it in 20 years...
Even though I haven't seen it in 20 years, even if it was offered up to me at any point, I would say, yes, let's watch it.
Yeah, see that? Look at that lighting.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Can't believe how alike she is with Tobe.
I know. But such a great... talented young actress, you know, just robbed of life so young.
I know, it's unfortunate.
And I mean, she was, genuinely very, very, very sick, and you could see it in the third film. She had obviously put on a lot of weight because of the medication and the treatment.
Remember, actually, yeah.
You know, and then unfortunately she just didn't make it.
Because there was a lot of coverage even on her. Back then, I can remember a lot of newspapers, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Talking more and more about it. We didn't have the internet.
And so here's an interesting fact.
Did I see a face? Oh, I thought I saw a face in that.
Yeah, well, you're supposed that's kind of a thing you're supposed to see. Interesting fact: Drew Barrymore and Sarah Michelle Gellar were considered for the roles of Carol Ann.
Really?
Because don't forget, Sarah Michelle Gellar started doing the Burger King adverts when she was a kid, and Sarah Michelle Gellar actually auditioned for E.T. So that is how Spielberg caught on to Gellar. And so just some interesting facts before we get into talking about this movie. Sarah Michelle Gellar was going to start in Back to the Future 4.
Right, okay.
So she was as a young actress.
Interesting.
As a I think a science student or something that gets involved with Doc.
Right, okay.
So they were going to do that, kind of like what they were going to do with Teen Wolf 3 by bringing Alyssa Milano in to play a female werewolf.
Gosh.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was then touted for Back to the Future 4. It never happened.
No.
But because Spielberg knew who she was, he brought both Drew Barrymore, of course.
Yeah,
you could see Barrymore in this.
But would she not
She would have been a wee bit older.
Yeah.
But Gellar would have probably been the right age to play it, but she was apparently Gellar was too young for E.T. and Drew Barrymore was too old for Poltergeist, so Gellar fell in, but they went with Heather O'Rourke. I think it was a good choice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think she was very, very good at playing Carol Ann, and but there you go. It's quite interesting trivia.
I don't think
I know a lot of trivia.
I couldn't imagine Drew Barrymore in the role. I mean, I did like her in Firestarter.
Yes, I love Firestarter. Great movie.
Be another one we should cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I could. I think just when she's so iconic, Heather
O'Rourke,
to this role that it's like you couldn't imagine someone else playing Tony Stark, for example.
Yeah, or you couldn't imagine anybody else playing Gertie and E.T. apart from Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. So
it's these films that have these iconic status
when they don't need to be recast or
remade. Unfortunately, the remake of this was dreadful.
I refuse to watch it.
Yes, to clarify, we're watching the 80s.
Yes.
Poltergeist, not the remake, the dreadful 2009.
Because Heather O'Rourke did not star in the remake.
No, she didn't. None of them came
None of them did. No, I refused to watch it. What, did you see it?
I did, unfortunately.
Bad, like?
Yeah.
Was that your man Rockwell? Was he in?
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and
no, it's not
Rosemary Clooney.
No,
it's not Rosemary Clooney.
Was convinced to go and see.
Yeah. No, it wasn't very good. I love that he's like reading like a thing on Ronald Reagan and they're both smoking pot.
That's a bit... yeah.
Parents of 3 and they're like smoking pot in bed.
So I don't think that would be Spielberg's. Well, he wrote it, so perhaps it is Spielberg's input, but it's not really a family film either, so...
No, it's not a family film. No. I think people forget, but it has that Spielbergian family movie feel. Yeah. Only extra scary.
Yeah, totally.
You know? But it's just, I always find this scene so... And I was always like,
it is odd.
I just thought they were all smoking cigarettes whenever I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then, obviously learned over the years, that's not what they're doing. They're smoking pot.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's... in a way, looking back on these 80s films, you know, they cast actors. They didn't cast lookers.
I actually put that in a review recently for something, and it was about 80s actors, and everyone right down to the extras could act. Everyone was an actor.
Yeah.
Cagney and Lacey, for example.
Yes.
Every person you see in any scene is an actor.
Yeah.
The person they're putting into the station in the background, anyone, and that was an era where people really were.
They could act. They knew how to act. No, we do have
totally different.
I mean, not to kind of put down today's actors. There are a number of actors today who are incredibly talented.
Of course,
but
there's a lot more that aren't.
But you wouldn't see a Craig T. Nelson in a mainstream movie now.
No.
With this big hairy chest and beer belly.
You don't even see
you wouldn't.
Dennis Quaid do that.
No. This clown freaked me out like to no end. And my mum was like, she'd like a clown thing for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, get it the fuck out of my room because I cannot cope with this.
That was kind of promoted a bit more in the remake, wasn't it?
Oh.
The clown was kind of like...
yes, and obviously the spoof in Scary Movie 2. When it pulls them under the bed.
That's right.
And rides the whole of them. But it's I mean, in this film, in the grand scheme of the whole runtime of this film, this clown is a very insignificant part of the grander story. But it's funny how people pick up that and take the piss out of it. It just shows how iconic some of these scenes and moments are.
Even the smallest moments. Yeah. Cause even the headboard. I mean,
I know.
I remember my mum even having something like that. There's Snoopy down here as well.
Love how she's like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Parents of the 80s. This is why kids that grew up in the 80s are so wonderful. Because their parents were so liberal.
Yeah. They certainly weren't parenting.
Now parents are far too conservative and it's like, fuck's sake.
I just noticed their TV is literally on the floor.
It is, yeah.
They can see that from their bed, I don't know.
I know, right?
But there's such a build-up to the things that actually start happening. It's not...
There's a story.
Yeah, there's no jumping in like most horror movies today would have. They throw you in there.
See the face?
Yeah.
On the tree?
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean,
Beethoven.
There is a lot of... It does. There's a lot of... it's a nice... I like the story because you're getting to know this family and who they are and how close they are. And it's nice.
So whereas, I think... Amityville, they would have done a similar
Amityville did the same thing before it kind of built up to that moment where all the shit kind of hits the fan, literally. You know, again, and a realistic family, Margot Kidder and James Brolin, you know, two really good actors, you know, who...
Phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's got a great story, great characters, great chemistry. It feels very natural and authentic because they can act.
And this is, again, what I think I've mentioned... I must try and find which film it was reviewing, but I had said those kind of things that everyone... I think today there's just too much forcefulness from actors.
Yeah.
And they want to be cool and they've got to look good and they've got to be presented properly or they're not happy about it. And there's a lot of family films you see today where the families don't connect.
No.
You just know that they are not a legit family, whereas these guys are very natural looking. Yeah. And it's such a different...
They look like
different way.
An American family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably down to part of why the film was so successful.
Mm.
You know, if you had a family full of really good looking kids and really good looking parents, you'd have been like,
I do.
No.
But, yeah. I mean... But see, when you watched the remake, did you get that same feeling watching that?
No, because it jumped too quickly into the scares and the activity.
Because people don't have the attention span.
No, they really
today.
don't.
The audience today, especially the new horror, the younger audience for the horror genre, they don't have the attention span. Mm-hmm. In fact, not even for the horror genre, for any genre. Yeah. Definitely not. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like. I would rather have babies. So the kid here, who's he? I've recognised him in a couple of things.
I don't know quite a lot of what he's done, but that's who he is.
Oh,
see, but this. I mean, this is what I used to do. Yeah. Whenever there were storms or I was scared, I was in next to Mum and Dad.
Our kids would get in beside us. Yeah. We were just sent back to bed, but you know.
Do you know, I always actually really wanted to be in America because for that.
For the rooms? The
size of the rooms, but the kind of end of TV, you know, in Curly Sue, when she stands up at the end and she's singing the national anthem. And I was always really intrigued by, because as far as I remembered, RTVs,
they just cut off. No, maybe you're even too young for that. They used to just cut off at midnight.
Right,
and they would go...
And would you have the colour
Channel
strips?
4 had BBC had their own. It was,
Wow.
You'd be lucky if you got anything going past 12 o'clock. You'd be flying.
Okay. So this was a genuine thing. Midnight and TVs really just didn't...
Stations, because most of the stations were running, obviously...
Manned.
Live, manned.
Yeah.
So whereas, everything's so digital today and can be set up and left to it.
Streaming. Different era.
Gosh.
And it's because of this movie I don't like white noise.
Oh, really?
I cannot. And I see that light, the way that strobing thing, I can sleep with that. See with this, if I had this on in the dark at night time, I could sleep with that because that's actually comforting. But see white noise, freaks the fuck out of me. Can't have it.
Did you ever see the film White Noise?
Yeah, I did. It was awful. Didn't like it.
Interesting concept, but I don't think it was executed well.
No,
definitely not.
I love this. Jerry Goldsmith given another brilliant score.
Mm-hmm. Again,
wonderful
something
composer
that has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of decades.
Horror scores now aren't just the same.
No.
I did now get the vinyls for Hereditary and Midsummer because I thought they were very, very good. Good music. I love this. Whoa! Jesus, swept. Crappy effect, but I mean...
Well, you know, it's what they had, and actually saying that now, I don't feel so bad when watching back my 80s Hong Kong movies, and they use the same animated style for their effects, because I thought they kind of were a wee bit behind.
Yeah.
But no, actually, they really weren't. She's just like, wake up!
But it's so great. I mean, people don't respect, I think, enough about what went into They're Here. Classic!
Isn't it?
Classic line. I don't think people respect how much effort really went into that, because I'm sure that set there where that was all shaken was on a sound stage where they shift the shit out of that.
Yeah.
You know?
There's the canary.
The canary's just been dug up.
Yeah, there would definitely have to be a lot of work put into that.
Yeah, there had to be a lot of rigging and, you know, for that to have worked, you know. And it's fascinating watching...
Like everything moved there. It wasn't just one wee thing.
And do you know what's really frustrating is that they do a lot of... there's a lot of behind the scenes that I've seen on the second and third film. The maintenance. This one, not so much.
Oh, really?
you catch the kind of cursed documentary
That's
or
right,
the cursed film documentary things about this film.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the behind the scenes, I haven't really seen very much. I love how like naturally they all kind of
react
together,
yeah,
you know, as like their brother and sister.
Aye. Gosh, the wallpaper's ghastly.
Isn't it horrendous?
It really is. Just everything.
The TV people.
Brings me back.
Yeah.
Is that photos of washing behind her? Like laundry hanging up?
I love it. It's so natural.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh my, that wasn't his fault.
Thanks a lot, jerk off. Gosh.
Even the blinds match the... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Definitely just perfect setting for...
Oh my god, their drapes actually match the wallpaper. Like, legitimately blend.
It's actually gross. It's the lampshade and everything. Or the light.
See, she would freak the fuck out of me. I would be like, okay, you need to leave. You're going to see a new mummy and daddy. Yeah. I'd be like, bye. But then that doesn't solve the ghost problem because they've just like went straight into the walls. So whether Carol Ann's there or not.
Somebody
started that. Mm-hmm.
Uri Geller.
Uri Geller. I was just going to say Uri's been there.
But even, do you know what? Going to the lengths of creating the swimming pool in the back, you know, for a film, it's just massive. Oh, look at the pervs.
I know, I love this bit.
Wow. Wow.
Love it. So sassy.
Isn't it? And the mother's
I know,
just
she's like, that's my girl, that's my girl.
Who cares if we've got paedophilic workers in the backyard?
Oh my god, I never thought of that, actually.
Hello?
Yeah, they're just perving on my daughter.
Yeah.
But she handled it. Oh. She handled it.
As long as she can handle it.
Did your mum ever tell you if you sat that close to the TV, your eyes would go square?
Oh, yeah. And now, they're on widescreen, so...
I know. Oh, fuck, your eyes would be rectangles.
You'd look like, what do you call your guy from Star Trek?
Oh, with the visor.
Yeah. I think she's constantly just high because nothing phases her, does it?
Look at this here. My dog started doing that, I'd be like, what is going on?
You'd run.
She is a bit spooked out by it, like, but...
Yeah. Clearly we're all a wee bit too concerned now when dogs are on our beds and children are too much...
See this, that there, bringing the toy and only looking at the wall. I'd be like, what is going on? Can't cope.
Well, they do say animals can see, so...
Yeah. Well, mine can't. I blinded mine, so...
Great, Mrs. Freeling, loved it.
Jesus. Just blinded him.
Well done, George, well done. So yeah, I have a lot of, because I asked you what your memories of this.
Yeah, what's your memories of this film?
This is a film I watch every Halloween.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite horror movies. But it takes me back to my childhood because my parents were quite happy for me to watch horror movies if that's what I wanted.
Yeah,
they were
too.
like,
yeah.
Well, if you want to sit through this, you can.
Go for it.
This was not in our house a horror film.
Oh really?
We watched this as a family.
Oh.
So that's what I mean. It's like got that Speilberg-esque quality that I think my parents kind of underestimated. The fact that that would just
class. Such a quick turnaround.
It is, yeah. And it brings back a lot of memories about being young and about. I think I was at an age whenever I watched this where probably like Carol Ann, I was a bit of a fantasist, and this kind of thing would have made my mind wander, you know. And this film did make my mind wander, and I always wondered about what was in the cupboard and, you know, was there ghosts in the walls, you know, and all these things. And if there was white noise anywhere, I'd be like, get it off. But it just, was so effective for me as a child.
Yeah.
You know, that...
Maybe I should try watching it with the kids.
Yeah.
See it. Yeah, because
they're not going to be affected by it now. They're totally
today.
desensitized to this kind of film.
I think the only thing that recently has scared Leo, our son, was World War Z.
That's not even scary.
It's not scary, but it was I think the speed of the zombies and the chattering.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That freaked him out. That was a few years ago. Obviously, he attempted to watch it in the daytime with me, and then he left the room like he just ran.
Oh no!
But he's managed a few other horrors since then, especially a lot of the classics, which he enjoys, but he thinks they're a bit daft.
Of course,
because they're spoilt with so much amazing technology with modern movies. But Tobin definitely would.
And jump scares are just such a thing now that
especially
tension build up and everything.
They've been desensitized.
I'm surprised they're still alive. So
they have been desensitized somewhat.
Yeah.
But Leo,
I thought he was going to drive straight out of that garage door.
I mean, when Leo was about 5 or 6, he watched Evil Dead with me. He watched, which he loved.
Yeah.
Because I mean, again, these are movies I watched at that age. And he was like laughing when their heads could head off with a shovel and things like that. Then he watched Hellraiser 2 with me once. Mm-hmm. And he was like, we knew the skinned guy, guy, the flesh is taken off him. He was like breaking that down. So Dad, this is like how they do this with the special effects, and this is it. And it's 6 or 7. Mm. It's like, okay, clearly this isn't affecting him the way it affected me.
No, because kids are nowadays much more inquisitive.
Yeah.
They aren't as, like I said, I would have gone into this, would have made me, I would have been a fantasist, so this would have got my mind thinking, not on a technical level, or more on a supernatural level, like what really goes on. Mm-hmm. I think this part is genius.
What year was this?
I want to say 80.
Earlier than that, Oh, I have the cover. Do you know that happened to me once in Marc Castle when I was hosting the live ghost hunts?
I'm not surprised, because that place is scary.
It was with a table, and it cornered me.
Ooh.
I have it on camera.
Wow.
82.
82. Okay, so it was earlier than I thought. I love that they put Carol Ann in a helmet here.
That's right.
Just in case. And I love when she gets up and she's like rubbing her bum and she's like, oh, Mum, we've been doing this all day. Whee! Stop it.
Oh, God love her.
I know. Whee! But what a great, simple effect.
Yeah. And you just wonder what is going through her wee head.
Yeah.
As Heather, when she's filming things like this, or what are they telling her?
It's interesting because, obviously Linda Blair has talked a lot about her experiences on The Exorcist and the things that she was told, and, how they were quite open with her as a young actress and as a child actress, going through a film that could have been extremely traumatic for a child, having to act some of those things. And some of the things that they put Linda Blair through, I mean, she was in pain in that film. Like, there were moments in that film where you hear that bit where she's going up and down on the bed. They had like a metal thing,
like a brace,
and were pushing and pulling her. And she's in agony, and you can see that. It would be interesting to know, like, what they did say to Heather at work, whenever they were filming, like, was she an inquisitive child? How smart was she really? Because she just seems so young and innocent. It's like, how do you, they're baked off their face, aren't they?
Totally.
How do you tell a 6-year-old that they're in a
terrifying
a horror movie that's about ghosts? And
Well, I mean,
but for the majority of the film, she's actually absent. Don't forget.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
That's just her voice. For whenever all of the really disturbing stuff happens.
I suppose. I wonder, did she get to watch it?
Oh, I'd imagine
like on its premiere, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'd say that they were.
But yeah, with my two, when I was like making the last light, there was certain... because they're both in it, they both cameo in it. There was certain elements to it that I would, especially Tobe when she was younger, tell her about what to do and what's happening. And then with Leo, it was just a case of jump out here. Don't, I wasn't really building their wee minds up to be anything more. But mind you, it wasn't a production as big as this.
No, of course not. I still do that to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. These films become so ingrained in us, that there are little things that you don't realize that you've picked up.
Oh,
and
without a doubt. Yeah.
From films, like counting down, because this was counting down a storm would have been quite a recurring thing. Most recently in Haunting of Hill House, that was like where they got them to count down the storm and that. So this is something that I would still do to this day, just to see how close the storm is getting. It's really ridiculous at 31 I'm still doing that.
No, it's not.
But
Jeez,
I mean,
Louise.
what a set piece.
Isn't it just fucking mad looking?
I love it.
Like, that's more effective than Harry Potter's
Whomping
Willow, isn't
right?
it? Gosh.
It's a smart tree too.
Isn't it? It just twigged on.
You can hear the Caroline, them calling her there.
Did you ever have a problem with getting it
into the closet or coming out of the closet?
Coming out of the closet?
I never had an
going
issue.
in, whenever you see
I
this kind
had
of thing.
I had a deep issue going into the closet. Yes. But we had no lights in our closets in homes. Ours were like wardrobes in a closet, so there was no lights.
So when I would have seen this, I'm just thinking back in my head to the times and the years I would have watched this. I was living in East Belfast, and the house that we lived in, we actually had to get a medium out because we had a ghost in my sister's bedroom.
Don't even.
Honestly.
Really?
It was the guy who died in that room who hadn't known that he had passed. And I remember going in to her bedroom with her full-length curtains and seeing a pair of shoes under the curtains and knowing they weren't my dad's.
Yeah.
And then when we eventually got round to it, but my sister used to sit and look at the chair in the corner of the room and wave to somebody.
Yeah.
But I would have watched this while living in that house and knowing then at 8 or 9 just what's in your house. This was even scarier. Yeah. The more I think about it. Woo!
Little dolly.
Now you see, if those poltergeists ever were looking a more modern day job, that looked painful.
Yeah. Didn't it?
They could, become removal people.
I mean, this is. I gotta say, there's the Wizard of Oz moment.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, what a tremendous set piece.
Painful, gritty.
Yeah.
Sore. I mean, that fall
looked quite painful. But I mean, it's just they just don't make films like this anymore, and it's such a shame. I mean, it's such a there's no CGI rain there. There's no CGI tree. All practical effects. They're covered in dirt and grime and sliding about the place.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
It's a huge set piece.
It is big.
You know?
Again, compared to today, everything had to be real.
Yeah.
Bar the clouds and the weather effect, but
physically
there had to be so much that was real. Oh, she's changed. Like, if I covered my actors in that amount of gum today, they'd be gurning at me.
Yeah.
In fact, they do gurn at me.
Yeah, well.
When I cover them in less gunk.
When you actually don't cover them in anything, they just gurn here. By the way, it's directed at nobody in particular. But, yeah.
My goodness.
But I think probably a lot of modern audiences and a lot of modern,
a younger
audience would be bored by this stage. I think they'd have tuned out.
Yeah, I think so. Which is unfortunate. Look at the lighting there.
I know.
In that room.
The lighting is fantastic. See the way they lit it with the white noise.
Mm-hmm.
I love all that strobing effect. It just added atmosphere.
And again,
the
a
pool,
realism.
Check the pool.
How did she get out there? I don't know.
I really didn't need to jump in there like that.
No. Make it effective.
Yeah.
Oh. But
it's as elaborate as it is. It's a very simple story.
Mm. Well, it definitely, I think, would come up in the top 10 of haunted house movies.
Yeah.
You know, or Poltergeist movies, but yes, top 10 of. I mean, he's genuinely freaked.
He's like, he's like, what the hell?
Carol Ann. I see that use of sound.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love it. I do that when I'm lying beside my
husband. I love that silhouette.
And his teeth.
Those massive teeth. Sure, do you not remember in the sequel he has the braces?
No, I don't.
And the storm comes and they try and get the braces off because of the lightning thing.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Her hands are black as day. Black as night, sorry.
Black as night, yeah.
Well, black as day.
If you're in Reykjavik at winter, it could be black as day. And cut and scene.
So that woman there, that's Beatrice Straight, who won the Oscar. More substantial role here in Poltergeist than she did in Network, but I mean, and this guy looks like Stephen King.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, like a young Stephen King.
Quite a lot like Stephen King.
Yeah.
My goodness. And Carl Weathers.
Is there more tea?
Would you like more tea?
I would love more tea.
I think it'll be a wee bit colder now.
No, do you know what? There's no milk in my cup either. So.
And very strong. You might shit your pants.
Well, that's alright. Still quite warm. Yeah.
Lovely, Joe.
I'll tap my face around this. But it's all about me, George. But yeah, very simplistic. As I was saying, very simple plot.
It's
very well executed.
Is it Insidious? They have this similar discussion.
Kind of yeah.
I wonder, was that like a throwback to this, like a bit of a homage?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Similar setup with the two guys, you know, the older lady and the two.
Yeah. But think back to 82, right? Because you can.
I can. I was 5.
There wouldn't have been anything like this.
No. I mean,
they did haunted house films, but
to me, horror films back then for me as a kid were the Hammer horrors.
Oh, is that what you would have sat through?
I loved the Hammer horror movies. Absolutely adored them. They were creepy, they were scary, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly one era of film they do not make like that anymore. They've tried, but they just, even the new Woman in Black, it was a Hammer movie, but it tried to hark back to that, and it just didn't have it. There was still something too modern about it.
Yeah. So
for me, back as a kid, Hammer horror movies were the scary things for me. I would have seen this when I was a wee bit older, so probably a few years after it came out.
Yes. Whenever it finally reached VHS.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have been a wee bit older then. And also, I mean, apart from that, okay, we can see that this is almost like a not cartoony, but
it is quite.
It's
like a Who Framed
an
Roger
animated
Rabbit moment.
Yeah. But because we have such incredible clarity on our televisions now, such high def, back then you didn't have that. And things like when I watch my old videos on here, it kind of pulls it apart, but you can see how rough it really was, and that's how you got away with it.
Yeah.
You know, like when I first watched Jackie Chan's Twin Dragons on VHS in the mid-90s, there was a lot of scenes that really looked like there was two Jackies there.
Yes.
But then when it came out in DVD and I watched it on a high def television, you could completely tell which one was an animated Jackie, which one was split screen.
Right.
Because it really just highlighted the wrong parts.
Yes.
And it's the same with this, in any movie from back then that's being cleaned up and restored and all that. You see all the tricks.
Yeah. I love this. I mean, this is like haunted horror movie 101.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Lights flicker and stuff. I love that Jo Beth Williams' character, the mom, she is so casual.
Yeah.
Like it flashes and she's like, there's going to be 2 more in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's
there's
like,
no fear.
No, I mean, you can tell. I mean, whenever you look at
the kids and
Dana and Oliver Cook's character, whatever the wee boy's called,
they're freaking out.
She looks like she's gonna cry. Yeah. And in this movie, obviously, Dana leaves. She can't cope with the thing, and then comes back right at the very end of the film. But she can't cope with all of the kind of crazy shit going on, and I don't think you would be able to.
No.
Those glasses are something
Aren't
else.
The 80s was something else.
Well, the 80s. I mean, it's a decade I wish I lived in.
Oh, phenomenal.
Born in the 80s, lived in the 90s. Can't complain about the 90s. It's better than what we're living in now. But
well, it was, and I can't stand the 90s.
Yeah. I know how you feel about the 90s.
But I mean, there is definitely something special about the 80s. I think in terms of culture and comic book culture as well, the film culture, music, everything was just so different. And then the 90s ruined it. Even horror movies into the 90s, they changed. I think we talked about this before. They just changed overnight almost, didn't they?
Well, with Scream was really the like game changer. 96
would have been, yeah.
That was the one that I think.
But that early to mid 90s, there's nothing
really
jumping
think,
out at
no.
me that's sort of like saying, hey, we're
because
amazing.
it was still following that 80s trend,
but coming into bad fashion.
But yeah, it was almost out of vogue by that stage, and then you had the reinvention of the slasher and ghost horror movies. My dogs would shut themselves to if something came out of the walls, and whenever my Alexa speaks, the dogs are like, ugh! So I can imagine. Yes,
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Hello, baby.
But you know what's also really interesting is see like
she's freaking out.
Dana's like she's already like covering the ears. She's like, I can't cope. This is too much. But can you think of anything recently that you could relate to this?
Personally, or
no? Think about something that has another side.
Insidious?
No, Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
It has that total Speilberg vibe.
Gave up on that after the first season.
Oh well, I am absolutely obsessed.
I
but
know. No, yes, it does actually. Yeah.
That Speilberg vibe, that kind of going over into another place. Winona Ryder's character interacting like Jo Beth Williams through lights, through sounds. It's it owes, and it's the Duffer Brothers did an amazing homage to 80s horror and 80s cinema. The Goonies, Poltergeist is in there. There's so many incredible references to so many wonderful films that the Duffer Brothers have made it seem so unique and new and fresh because of how they've tackled the there's somebody there, and it's not the
there's a Spielberg shot if ever I saw him.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Get everyone together.
Yeah, into the one shot.
Do you think they're trying to channel her in here?
Well, there you go. Very well done. But yeah, so it's incredible how certain things are still inspiring filmmakers today, and this is one of obviously one of those films that is inspiring people today to make films. Taking things out of the film, and I felt her. I can smell her.
Wow. Reminds me of an ex. Oh, that staircase is pretty mighty.
It's an incredible staircase for the house that it's in.
It's an odd shape. She's really...
She's having a meltdown here.
She doesn't really know your baby's smell, let's be honest.
No.
You freak. No.
But again, so many great examples in the 80s of See, this bit freaks me out to no end. I know, her Dominique is just like, whoa!
She just hit the deck.
I can't hear anymore.
Oh, don't change.
I wouldn't want to be near that TV either. I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here.
I wouldn't be changing the channel just in case you lose her, you know? Where was Carol Ann playing?
The bedroom.
Oh, girl. So, as the more I'm thinking about
it... The room won't let you in. Love that.
The more... Oh. I had an Indian.
Is this him who's got scratched?
Oh, yeah.
The big scratch on him? No. Oh, bitten.
Oh, girl.
No shit, Beatrice, I'd be with you.
I think we'll spend the night downstairs.
I think we'll spend the night downstairs. Do you know who she sounds like?
Oh.
Catherine Hepburn used to talk like that.
Yes.
Do you remember? Wonderful. That was Michael Myers. Michael Myers in the background, yeah. Well, it came out in 82. Myers was around from 79, so could very well be. Of course, everyone wants Michael Myers paintings in their houses.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. So. Do you have any?
No, Halloween is one poster that I don't actually have.
Oh, yeah. Maybe someday.
One day.
If you shoot your
But Tobe Hooper seemed like an unusual choice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's nothing here is making me think this is a Tobe Hooper movie.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
No, this is a Spielberg movie.
Very odd. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Spielberg movie 3.
Yeah, I mean, he did it write and produce. He's clearly got the foot down, whatever he wants or whatever. I would say, without a doubt, he is calling the shots.
No. Spielberg didn't write this.
He did?
He didn't.
He did. He came up.
I came up with the idea. Screenplay by Steven Spielberg. Oh my god, he did! Story by Steven Spielberg? Holy crap! That is one thing that I did not know.
There you
Quite
go.
Interesting. Well, it has his mark written all over it.
It does.
But what an odd choice. I mean, when you think of Hooper's kind of pre-Poltergeist days... You have you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2.
2 was phenomenal.
I love 2. So underrated.
Yeah.
And some really... And then he went on to do like Spontaneous Combustion and The Mangler. And then you look at this and it feels so out of place amongst his films.
Yeah. I mean, this, I would say, is leaning more... In terms of taking Spielberg out of it, we've been leaning more towards even a Wes Craven kind of style, more of a polished look about it.
Yeah.
But then again, even Nightmare on Elm Street
early
1 was a bit...
Well, I was going to say Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the
it was
Left,
a bit
and
more...
then Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Well, he did Deadly Blessing and all before Nightmare 1, but...
they were a wee bit grittier than this, but... Yeah. I just know. No, this is Spielberg all over.
Yeah, definitely. And do you still feel like it, when you're watching it, do you still feel like it holds up?
There's definitely a charm about it.
Mm.
It's not boring. I don't find it boring because again, that's the trick and the charm of the Spielberg movie from the 80s is that it held you.
Yeah.
You know, there was just, again, watching the goodies on the big screen, there was something that I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was just, every little thing about it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think that's lost today.
It is. I feel like that's what cinema misses, you know, so much. And
look at that lighting on her face. And all, it's just perfect.
Beautiful lighting, you know.
But so natural. She didn't. There was no forcefulness of her coming into that, you know, that placement. She was naturally just sunk into it.
But again, they're not make-upped up to the eyeballs, you know, and all of this, you know. And that is stunning lighting. The silhouette on the hair, the light on her face, the way it's reflecting off of her eyes.
The plaque on her teeth.
The plaque on her. I was just going to say that. Her yellow teeth, she's clearly a smoker.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker and I don't even have teeth that bad. But that, to me, see the way that's lit? That, to me, brings you right in.
Oh, yeah.
You're not looking around. No. You're focused on what she's saying.
Yeah.
And that is what makes films like this. And films today aren't made like this. There's so much going on. You think of Aquaman and the MCU and all this. Yeah. There's so much craziness going on. And then we went to see, you know, an independent film the other night, and as great and wonderful as it was, they didn't have things like this, shots like this, where you are pulled straight in to the character and watching and so engrossed in what they're saying.
Yeah. This still is shot classically.
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
Like if this was in black and white.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
You wouldn't know that it was an 80s movie, you know what I mean? Obviously bar the the style and all that kind of thing. But if you were to get a still shot of that in black and white, you just wouldn't know.
No.
Because that could have been 30 years earlier.
Yeah. Or it could be today, like a throwback type movie in black and white.
But yeah, it is gorgeous, definitely.
It is, yeah. They have some vinyl collection there, don't they?
Wow.
I know.
Something else is creeping back, eh?
Do you believe in the whole cursed films thing?
I think there's enough has went on in film project. I mean, fuck's sake, my last film was a cursed project.
Well.
In many different ways.
3 years in the making.
Oh, man. But because of so many problems. And every time we tried to overcome that, another problem. And that, to me, that was a cursed project.
Yes.
For some reason or another. But yes, I think when you're invoking something as powerful as this and creating,
but it's
such, I don't think it may not necessarily be a genuinely demonic threat on the set, let's say. But I think in people's minds, especially back then, when they're making something like that, I think in people's heads, because I do believe in energy, and I believe in the use of positive energy and negative energy, and I think when people are all in the same mindset of something is scary, something is wrong, what are we bringing in? I do think that I actually have a script that I've got on the side that I have been waiting to make for a lot of years now, where they're making a film about a cult of devil worshipping nuns, that they actually invoke things to happen because they're making the film, they believe in it so much. And I suppose it is with the same reasoning that I'm trying to sort of say that on this set that everyone may have just been so, after reading the whole script, racked in their brains as to what is going to happen and what's going on, that they probably have brought it upon themselves.
And a lot of it could have been down to just happenstance, circumstance, you know, things going on fire.
That's what I mean.
Equipment breaking,
you
things
initially
falling.
Link that to what's going on, what you're shooting.
And a lot of it could have been incredibly subconscious. And again, with the likes of Heather, you know, being so sick, again, that's just something that happens. You can't put that down to the film. She was just an ill girl.
Yeah.
But, you know, this here was...
It's brilliant,
this was why I was vegan. Convinced that my steak was going to move across the table.
Move across the table.
Move across the table. Well done, George.
Oh.
But isn't that so weird?
It's brilliantly done.
It is fantastically well done.
Absolutely gross.
I know. This is just...
That would put you off meat.
Oh, yes. Hello.
They're not for long.
Oh, I say... Oh, Jesus. But again, I love this moment where he goes into the bathroom and it's another great effect. Do you remember this bit?
No.
The face?
Oh, when he pulls it.
Yeah,
of course. Ooh.
Great use of colour.
Mm-hmm. And that give them their cutaway.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if had they done it all in one shot, it would have been even more.
I mean, it looks obvious.
It's like a Terminator when he takes the eyeball out. Oh Jesus!
But this is Hooper style.
Yeah.
This is where Tobe Hooper comes in for me.
Quite possibly the most horrific part of the movie.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
But
I just have
very Evil Dead.
Yeah, right. I just have such admiration for films that use practical effects and and the films that to this day will use practical effects in favor of CGI and everything because it's
makes more sense.
It does,
and it looks much better.
Well, sometimes it might look silly.
To a point.
Yeah,
but like we try hard.
There is
to make it
effort
work.
in it to make it. Because it's tangible, whenever you see a practical effect that they're able to interact with it, they're seeing it, whereas with CGI, they're clearly not. They don't know what the fuck's going on until they watch that movie at the premiere for this film.
Does it do it justice? If it's a CGI effect, does it do it justice? You don't know until you...
But for this film, they live through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So whenever they go and see it, they're like, oh yeah, cool, it looks great. When it's all edited together.
Yeah. And even though they're there for the shoot, watching it could still freak them out in the sense that, it worked. Something as good as what they shot worked.
Yeah. But what a way to... It's such an incredible pan and shot there. Wonderful, but it's the set design of that staircase.
Yeah, it's definitely been built.
Yeah, that slant in it and all its...
off-putting.
Yeah.
I mean, that staircase with the door and the smoke and light would have been an amazing poster shot.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But that image of Carol Ann on the television is so iconic. It's just one of those images that is like ingratiated in people's minds. Because they're so like. And this is whenever I kind of... I mean, today they probably wouldn't do that. They'd probably just have the leaves on the branches moving. They would have the thing going. I always imagined that this, if I was to ever see a ghost, this was what it would look like.
Definitely not.
No, I know
Definitely
that.
Not. He looks like a totally different actor.
Doesn't he? But beautiful.
Looks like somebody Peter.
I know.
Do you guys need toilet roll?
But these close-ups, these wide angles, the lighting, the colour,
the wind,
yeah, the all of the effects that are going into it, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And people would look at that today and be like, what a load of shite.
Because
that doesn't make any sense. It looks stupid. It doesn't look real.
Again, ghosts today. Like, we watched The Nun last night.
Ugh,
and
I hate that film.
You know what? It's probably the weakest of the bunch. But it tried to be old school. It tried to have some classic... Again, it tried to hark back to the Hammer style of things. But... Then it kind of went in with the modernization of how ghosts are, how demons are. It really kind of like changed its tone when it came time to scare people. But I don't think, younger audiences today or today's horror fans wouldn't find that scary or creepy.
Or in any way inventive.
No. But look at that.
Yeah. It's fabulous. All these people coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
That they didn't see. And the cameras picked it up. I love it. Absolutely incredible. It's so well... It's such a great effect.
And all these halos. But I mean, nothing I don't think I've ever seen since done to the same standard.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I think Insidious is almost like a remake of this, but taking it another step further when they go into the further or the ether, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But it almost is a bit of a remake. Not straight up, but definitely inspired by.
Yes.
But they've obviously added their own demons and whatnot.
Yeah.
Can't believe that dog's driving. Oh,
This cameo is over 100 years old.
gosh.
And this watch is only a few
I mean, his jumper is amazing in the background, isn't it?
Freddy, up there, isn't it?
That's what his
green
green
and red, but it's black and red, or navy and red.
And his white trousers.
I know. Nobody should wear white trousers after 1985.
Except my husband. He does look good in a pair of white trousers.
Well.
I know.
Oh, right, a bourbon. Sorry.
But I
we
do have
drank
some
it
below.
all.
I do have some below upstairs if you'd like to go up and get it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Just
Got their stash. Is it just me or is her hair getting shorter?
The
Beatrice?
Oh.
Looks like it's got shorter.
Kind of rolling up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh. But there was lovely light. The shade coming in.
Yeah.
And the blinds. I remember doing a shot like that for a short that we were shooting called The Kid. And I took the lights outside, angled I had like wooden shutters, blinds, horizontal. So I angled them to put the electric lights shining through and hit the wall with them. So I got like almost like sunshine coming through. And it was shooting it and it was all fine. And then suddenly the rain came on and when the water hit the lights, they all exploded.
Oh no!
But I got my shot. Oh, there's your guy from Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Clue?
Kluger.
Kluger.
Yeah.
Well, let's just call him Cougar.
Cougar.
Or Kluger. Well, we'll call him Kluger. But yes, there you go.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
I know. It's not planned though.
Oh yeah, dirty
Oh
bastard.
yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
Last time I got an offer like that,
would you like to go for a ride?
I was shown something quite horrific. I love to know this bit always makes me laugh.
Oh really?
Yeah, it just.
Size that light switch.
Well, it's close to this.
You're so easy.
I know, right?
Want to go for a ride?
No.
I'd like to show you something.
No.
Yes, Mom.
You just know it's building up to something, but I don't know why. This just made me laugh.
It's the creeping end, you see.
Yeah. Every time I see it, I laugh. It's just like, oh my god.
But are you laughing because it scared you possibly? As we seat walking stick?
I know. It's very cute actually. I want one of those.
Yeah, you not got one?
Nah.
Oh, we've all got them.
Well, you are all of an age where you need them.
Hey.
I'm still a young thing.
Oh, look at that. Lovely development.
I know.
This is where they built the set for Back to the Future.
That's not Universal.
No, we joke.
I mean, it's a Universal film, but there's no way. There's no way that's on the back lot.
No, it is not.
That's a location.
It is.
Now their house is probably back lot.
Yeah. Well, I would say the whole thing's probably definitely because
They're breaking windows.
They're wrecking the
yeah.
shit out of it, so they would have to.
But that's obviously location shooting there.
Mm. Yeah. Wow, what a view!
I know of other people's houses. Who doesn't want that?
You're not selling it to me.
No.
Cool.
Oh, this view of everyone else? No. Give me a view of a fucking lake.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
not of other people's
Or a
homes.
swimming pool full of skeletons.
That's what everyone wants in their house.
Especially this time of year.
I know, right? I would love to have a swimming pool. And put
With skeletons?
dead zombies in it.
Dead zombies?
Yeah.
That's ironic.
Yeah, well, some zombies are
Dead
alive.
zombies.
I mean, this is red flag moment number one.
Exactly.
Here, let's dig up Becky and fucking build houses over the top of her. No!
And that there is fake.
Oh, well, that's matte, so that's not painted. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still looks
These
really
are obviously,
nice.
These are obviously set pieces. Yeah, it's just
it's just people, sure. It's just a graveyard.
Whatever.
Can't be tribal with a fucking name like Becky, for God's sake.
And Joseph?
And Joseph, yeah.
Joseph Albert?
Joseph Arbor.
Arbor? Couldn't say that then.
I mean, how many tribes people did you know called Becky back in the day?
Well, when we used to round up the old cowboys down at the watering hole,
there
was a few.
Oh, so
Beckys.
you were Cowboy Nation. You weren't Cherokee then, no.
No, definitely not. I was too far.
That's what a tribe is.
Yeah.
Indian burial ground.
Yeah, I know.
Cherokee people.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Not
When we
white
went
cowboys.
to round up the cowboys.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, gotcha. To scalp them.
Bloody hell.
I know, I'm just not really with it. Great shot, though.
Mm-hmm. It's like a classic western. Gosh, completely drained the colour of that, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What a house.
I love these panning shots around the house as well. But again, such a horror cliche. That kind of like slow-mo panning, you know, round the home.
It is, isn't it? She's going to do a bit of jiu-jitsu. Oh. Oh,
here's Zelda! Yay!
Isn't she fucking fabulous?
I love her so much.
Wow.
Do you know I always wanted a granny like Zelda.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the cutest little button I've ever seen in my life.
She is brilliant.
But it's her voice.
Yeah.
Caroline!
This house. Oh, she is fantastic.
I love her. She's amazing. Did you ever see Picket Fences?
No.
Her and Picket Fences, David E. Kelly's show. She was in that. She's wonderful. But I love that they brought her back for the sequels.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
yeah. They would have to.
Yeah. Because she was, apart from Heather O'Rourke as Carol Ann, Zelda Rubinstein was the standout from this film.
Yeah. This is where a lot of the, I'd say if people were quoting this film, they would be her lines.
It would, the Carol Ann, yeah. Don't go into the light!
And even Jim Carrey, and he says this house is clean in Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
But you must take my word for it. She's cleaned many houses.
She has. She's brought her vacuum.
She's brought her ghost vacuum and ghost broom, and it's just gone around, you know.
She's up there changing,
round to not like cobweb. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, for flip's sake.
I'm
Oh,
addressing the living.
Oh, she's so.
She's just
Right.
so...
Look at the size of her
I
thing.
know.
It made her even smaller. Oh, how
Oh.
His house has many hearts.
sweet. Oh.
I just love her wee voice, but she's a... She's killing herself. Smart ass.
I was trying to. Oh.
Oh, there you go, Craig. You were fucking told. You were cut down to her height.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a wee bit sizest.
Well, I'm just saying, she cut him down.
Hi. Now, if she was alive today, wouldn't you have loved to have seen her in The Conjuring?
Yes. Rather than Lynn Shay?
Yeah, because I think she looks and would be more like. No, not Lynn Shay. You're thinking of Insidious.
What movie did you say?
The Conjuring.
Oh, sorry, The Conjuring, yes.
What did you call the actress in?
I don't know, because I've only ever seen it
She's
once.
brilliant in it. I do love her in it. And she's been in quite a lot, and she is...
Look at that beautiful lighting there. She has nails like me, almost.
They're horrific nails. Horrific. Yeah, so I think she looks more like the two characters that, because my mind is going. Vera Farmiga? Vera Farmiga?
Vera Farmiga? To play Lorraine?
Yeah, Lorraine Warren, because she would look a bit more like the actual Lorraine Warren.
Bring up a picture of Lorraine Warren.
Not in height, obviously.
Believe me, I will.
Believe me, I will. You just...
But it's amazing. I mean, she's only coming into the film, what, an hour into it? You know, and so many people know her from this film, yet her role is quite short. Oh.
That was a wee bit of a pun there.
It was. I didn't mean that. It was quite a small... Oh, fuck! I can't say it!
I think you're getting a little out of hand. Oh, Jesus.
I can't. How am I going to say this? Her role was quite... No.
She does. Look, the hair, the look.
Maybe
she looks more like Lorraine Warren
than Vera Farmiga does. Yeah, I agree. But, oh God, if Zelda Rubinstein was alive today, what a wonderful blessing that would be.
I think
yes,
she does.
Definitely.
I think she does. Yes. But that's another story altogether.
Oh, together.
No. But it's like, you would listen to her, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Now, going back to that house we lived in whenever I remembered about watching this when I was a kid. And the house was haunted with this old man who had died in my sister's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
The medium who came to our house to help clean the house.
She was a cleaner too.
She was blind.
Wow.
And she was able to tell us what colour our tops were.
She was not
Say
blind.
to my mum, oh, she's still kicking around, and she totally is.
Maybe she's
100%.
blind now, but back then
She
wouldn't
sees
have
a
been.
lot, and she was able to then
That's ironic.
clear the room. But yeah, yeah, like that was something else actually. Something else.
She does have one of those voices that you... Like, they're so enthralled by her. But I would be too. But just as a person, you know, she would have been a wonderful guest at, like, Yellow Fever.
Oh,
Can you imagine if she was alive and, you know... Because
definitely have her in.
Her role in this is so iconic and just so... She just acts it so brilliantly well. And she's wonderful.
But again, the natural performances of actors back then.
I was just about to say the authenticity and the emotion that you can see on all their faces is so palpable.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even look like they're acting, they just look like they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas actors today would be
yeah.
You know, they would have that weird facial expression, they'd be like, oh. Whereas they're like listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it's very rare you see that today.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Her tears must be falling from above. They're landing in odd spots. It simply is. Wouldn't it be funny though if she just suddenly went to them like after that real quiet, intense talk?
Fucking dickheads!
Like that, you know, if she'd have done that to them, wouldn't she? It would be such a wonderful moment. Oh yeah!
Yes!
Oh,
I know.
they cut to like an A-Team moment there.
Right?
They start building a bulldozer to go into the cupboard. Oh,
I love this. I really like this. You know, the throwing the objects in for them to fall out in the living room to see if they can, kind of if the portal goes through.
Yes.
It's such. again, such a simple concept.
It
and
is.
so well done.
He's going to get roped into it though.
Oh, please, George. Jesus.
Carolina! I would like to know what height she is. I'm going to just bring that up there in a second.
Daddy and I miss you so much.
Daddy.
We love you so much. Please, just say hello.
Hello.
She's under restraint. What? Who's restraining her? There are many arms about her. She thinks it's safe. Quickly, who is she more threatened by, you or your husband? Neither. Steve decides to punish her.
No, would you not?
Stephen, make Caroline answer you.
4'3".
Wow, that's, yeah.
4'3". She would have been 86 if she was with us today.
Caroline, I want you to answer me.
Tell her if she doesn't answer you, she's going to get a spike.
Oh, come on, I've never spanked children.
Please just tell her.
Again, the framing.
Yeah, everyone's
amazing.
acting in this shot.
Even Zelda's shadow.
Even Zelda. There we go.
Away from home. Is she all right?
Do you notice all the kids' artwork is up around the house?
Yeah.
Unless they're just buying really terrible
They're
paintings.
just, I mean, it's
Yeah.
easily. Oh god, the sound effects are so chilling.
Look at her behind. There's another
I
one.
know, she's like,
It's like
"Come on,
Return of the
come
Living Dead
on."
again. Do you remember? Oh man. Would you not shite yourself though, as a parent?
Yeah, I mean,
being
I
told,
yeah.
telling your child to run to the light.
There's a real palpable anxiety to this. You know, these moments, because you know she clearly knows what she's talking about, and she's trying to guide the family to help them get their daughter back.
Yeah.
And they're you can see that stress.
Oh, that's the thing. They've got to take her word that this is going to work.
They've got to take it. They've got to understand it, and they're not completely, but they're having to, and that's what I'm saying about this kind of palpable anxiety that, you know, in that entire shot, which isn't cut away very much, so that was clearly done in one take.
Yeah.
That whole scene.
That's
And
right.
a lot of people.
It was just moving in and out.
Yes, moving in and out. Yeah, there's no cutaways to it. They're doing this all in one take, and you're gonna fuck up as you go along, clearly, but to maintain that level of you can now understand why people find Kubrick so hard to work with.
Yeah.
Because he was like take,
Yeah.
and why people find Shelley Duvall's performance so like because she's exhausted from all of these shots. I could imagine the same thing probably happened here. There's told it's one take, one camera setup, and they've got to do it. I could imagine that Joe Beth Williams and Craig T. Nelson and Zelda Rubinstein and Beatrice and everybody were so like, oh god, we keep and we're just by that stage whenever Zelda's then shouting, say it, that Joe Beth could feel that intensity and was just like, oh god, just
genuine tiredness and anger in there.
Yeah. Because, you know, Tobe or whoever's directing is...
I still do that with some of my actors. Like,
really?
I'll push them until they...
But it's so much more authentic and genuine, you know?
Definitely.
When people can act, it's different when they can't.
Like, I noticed there's scenes between the two actors where it gets really aggressive verbally, because that was like the 40th take. And they were just wanting to get...
Well, I know what thing you're talking about.
Yeah, and they start getting really aggressive towards
and
each other.
It looks like the two of them are genuinely pissed at each other, but they were.
Yes, they are. And in my eyes, when I'm looking through the camera, I'm going, yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, fucking get it over and done with.
Wonderful. I mean, great
Stunning.
use of strobes, like, honestly. There it is. There you go. Oh. gross rope.
Yep.
Jelly rope.
Ugh. It's like the umbilical cord of the spirit world, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Don't come. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to go wiping that around your bit. So I'm actually surprised they didn't go for a hole in the floor up above. So where you can see the rope is animated at the top.
Yeah.
Had they maybe
Ugh.
put it through a hole in the floor, it might have and added the animated stuff. It would have maybe just give it a wee bit more.
I love her so much.
Wow.
You're right. You go. I love it. That's a great moment. It's a fantastic line. You've never done this before. Neither have you.
It's like, yeah.
You're right. You go. Yeah. I don't want to do this.
Like, yeah, there's only so much I'm paid for.
Yeah. This is above my pay scale. I'm not risking it.
Lovely.
You aren't paying me enough for this shit. I'm not sticking around.
Oh, how romantic.
I know.
It's a shame she's gonna die.
She doesn't die.
I know, but she doesn't know that.
No, none of them know.
She's thinking she's not coming back. Oh. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop looking. She's getting smaller. Okay, Freddy. 1, 2, 6. I should have had her on roller skates there.
I would have loved to have known exactly what they were invoking, like what really went on set. Clearly they didn't use real skeletons. I mean, that's ridiculous. Nobody would do that.
No, I don't think
but
they would have to.
No, but
I mean, if budget
all of these
constraints were...
all these rumors and superstitions go about a lot of horror films. Like The Exorcist, this film. I'm trying to think of other ones from this era.
Well, even The Wizard of Oz has its own myths.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's right, yeah. But it's
I mean, fuck's sake, I created one. Not created it, sorry, but put one out there with Chaplin's Time Traveler for the Charlie Chaplin movie. But, that's the thing. There's so many of them have their own myths and legends and stories.
You do often wonder, though, what were they doing on set? Did they meddle with anything?
Or was there just some
really strange occurrences?
Strange occurrences, but was there somebody in the crew that was a wee bit screw loose, and just thought, oh, maybe I'll just make something happen here?
Yeah. Wait! Jesus, I forgot about that!
That's fucking massive.
Whoa, fucking hell. If that came out of the closet, I'd be like, bloody hell, here they come!
I would be putting nails in my closet.
I'd have burnt the house down. I'd have been like, fuck that shit.
Oh. Jeez Louise.
It's horrible, isn't it? Makes me feel ill.
It just looks like the ceiling gave birth.
Well, it kind of did.
Get her in the water. Oh yeah, here. It's like,
I know, like, yeah.
Oh.
I just love those wee moments because you would genuinely do that, wouldn't
It just
you?
looks like jelly.
Yeah, jelly on the plate.
Or jello, sorry, as they say in the States.
Just to sell his hair.
Yeah.
Looks like she's been through the fucking washing machine about 20 times.
Oh, look at that wee thing trying to pretend she's sleeping.
I know, bless. But, I mean, she's a fucking 5-year-old, for God's sake. She's a thing.
God love her. Baby. You just had a baby.
You just took Caroline from the base, and he ain't happy.
He ain't happy.
And you think that your nightmare is over? Girl.
Oh, her hand just magically appeared. That was bad cut.
Mommy, Daddy.
Why is there soap in the water? Why do they need soap?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a bit
Why
of
does
an
it need
odd
to be a
one.
bubble? Well, I mean, they're fucking stinking, obviously, but it's like,
But
if they needed to be in the water to heat up, it was like,
Yeah,
oh,
let's
just close the
leave them
door.
there. I'm ready for my close-up.
I love, this is superb.
She's brilliant. Yee!
Liar. At the end. I love that moment.
You're fired.
This house
Is
is clean.
Oh, sweet.
Here's the big finale, George.
You're telling me.
What a finale.
Flippin' heck.
I know. But again,
Way.
what great misdirection,
Mm,
right?
without doubt. Yeah. You think
You
it's
know,
that Hollywood
you're like,
happy ending
yeah,
kind of thing?
you're like, oh, movie's over, great. You know,
She's
she's been
back.
saved.
She needs to put
We've
a
had our-
bra on,
Yeah,
doesn't she?
we've had our big monster moment.
Looking a bit-
Mum's now got white hair from the trauma.
Yeah, I was gonna
you
say,
know,
yeah.
like Heather Legend
Heather,
Kemp got, yeah. and
Your new grace. Well, you should try wearing a bra, darling. It's looking a little nippy out here.
yeah, but it's such a wonderful case of misdirection, you know, that people don't do quite as well nowadays. I mean, there's a lot
the
of
wee boy there with he's trying to stay cool in the shade.
Oh, very good, George. I'm good. I'm fantastic. I just literally
Like in the
went to-
positioning of everyone.
Yeah, so you're able to see what's going on.
That old beetle over there. What a day!
But it is, I mean, you genuinely think watching this, you're like, oh,
They're
okay,
off,
that's it. Because they're being like, what a day. She doesn't seem to remember any of it. Time to go. You know, it is one of those moments where you're lured into this false sense of.
Well, yeah, you think that's it.
Yeah.
That Hollywood happy ending.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Everything's rounded up. She's come in. Carol Ann's been freed.
There's a few more people.
The house
in the
is
street.
clean. Yeah. Yeah, There's a
There's
few
gonna
more
be-
people have moved in now.
There's a few more witnesses.
After what happens now, I'd be out of that fucking
Yeah.
neighborhood. I'd be like, bye. But
Oh, she's getting grayer and
I
grayer.
know it seems to be like
Quickly?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
You can say it. You have been married some time now. Silly woman.
Silly woman.
Silly woman.
Standing in the street.
It's a hell of a slope
silly
on that
woman.
roof, isn't it?
I mean, fucking hell.
Like, there's not much room inside. Well, actually, the house is fucking massive, but
That is a big house.
isn't it? Ghastly carpets.
Horrible carpets.
Put that shag all the way upstairs. Oh, like, would you not be wanting to check on your children rather than just listen through the door?
Don't know. After what just happened, doubt it. Oh, hair dye.
Oh yes,
Just embrace your grey, love. Embrace it.
yes, like Mark.
You're just jealous that I have hair.
At least I get a lion in the morning. I don't have to do mine. I just give it a quick buff.
Just buff it, yeah.
Oh. Does the carpet match the curtains? I don't know. Let's check it out. Give me it. Give me it, you little trucker. Alright, overacting. Come on, girls. Oh, do you remember those?
There's actually, do you know, I'm watching this and I'm thinking ahead, obviously, of what's coming. Quite a lot happens in this, in these end moments that I'm like, oh yeah, of course, because you forget about the clown.
Yeah, it just,
You forgot about the clown really quickly.
Yeah. It just ramps it up.
It does. It goes from like 5 to 10 really quickly.
Oh, yeah, yeah, very quickly.
I don't let my dogs see me naked.
Do you know?
No.
In case it scars them or in
kind of
case
bit.
they try to bite something.
I used to sleep naked, and then whenever I got the dogs, I was like,
Oh.
because I was afraid that, yes, they
They
sleep
just
with
bite
me,
it?
so they would like bite it off or lick my arsehole during the night or something. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So-
yes, but not asked to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can get a bit.
I would. Why would I do that? It's disgusting. So now I wear boxers to bed just for
Good
the little ones,
shot.
you know.
Well, yeah.
See, this freaks me out. I can't.
Watch it. Here's Johnny. Why would you even keep that clown if it did?
I'm so yeah. I've had that thing in the fire.
Like she's lost her head, and she's taking her temperature with.
I know, right?
Solo.
I thought it was a crayon.
Luke Skywalker. Sorry, it's Luke Skywalker.
Yoda.
Fuck, there's a lot of Star Wars references here, isn't there? Oh.
There is, yeah.
My goodness. I think if we moved into that house, Kenny would have that bath ripped out.
I think it's fabulous.
And something a bit more modern.
No, I love it. It looks spacious.
Look at he's so gorgeous.
Isn't he?
Oh.
The dog.
The dog, yes. There's just a lot of steam coming from somewhere that's not,
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there are little flaws throughout it. I mean, it's not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but
we're not complaining.
It's just such a wonderfully memorable one. You know?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Oh.
I mean, that's instant heart attack material right there. Yeah, the first place you should be looking is the last place that you do.
Yeah.
Look, you twat.
Come!
Jeez. Ah! Oh, Jesus! Fuck, I forgot about that.
That's what you get for clowning around.
What a moment.
Isn't it?
What a classic moment.
Ruined by Scary Movie 2.
I know. That's how I dry my hair. After I've dyed it. I can imagine obviously this...
Is that a sex toy or what is that on the...
No, I don't think it is. I think it's just a thing.
Like a lightsaber or something?
This moment is so... Because I don't really know what's happening here. Is she being raped?
Yes.
Right.
Basically.
So this thing is fucking her.
Oh, wow.
I know. Again, piss taped in Scary Movie 2.
Yeah, that's right.
But wonderful. So I do know that this set was turned. Yeah. This was actually a set that they were able to turn
We
round.
actually do this in our bedroom.
I'm sure you do.
During a
That's
night of passion.
About you. It's about the movie.
But our bedroom turns also. Oh shit!
I hate you. Yeah, I hate him too.
That's good. At least he's fighting back.
And their mum's just been raped with her pants on, which makes no sense.
Well, it was attempted ghost rape.
Attempted ghost rape?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Whoa. I forget about all these bits.
This kind of thing reminds me of The Gate. Did you ever see
Yes, I love The Gate.
Yes.
Gate's a fantastic film.
I do love The Gate.
Oh. I actually feel a little bit sorry for Jo Beth Williams because she does this in
It's amazing, isn't it?
Look at the fear on her face. Such a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel sorry. Oh, Jesus. I feel so bad for her because she has to run in the mud and the dirt and the pool in a t-shirt. I'm sure she was freezing cold. Because I doubt that shit was warmed up.
Oh. No. I wouldn't imagine so.
No.
It was a shock. Whee!
Stupid moment.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like they've just ricocheted this up to 10 and they're like, right, what can we do here to just, like...
No more. Where is she going?
See?
Hello?
I love this.
She's completely went the wrong way.
She's supposed to be getting her kids. She can't get back up the stairs.
Yeah, but she should have went to the front.
Here we go. Straight. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I'm sure she was absolutely.
Okay, so now, fuck me. Going back to this.
Yeah.
This subconsciously has put a fear in me of half-empty swimming pools. If I ever see a swimming pool, which I've been around a few, believe it or not, that have water in the bottom, like dirty green water.
Yeah.
It does terrify me.
Yeah.
Simply for that reason of falling in and not being able to get out again.
Yeah.
I've
And
seen,
she's struggling, like.
She sure is. And it's
Love that shot.
even
Up there.
physically doing that must have exhausted her.
Oh, I'm sure she was. I'm sure that's what I'm saying. I'm sure she was so tired.
Mucking around. Whee! Oh no! Shit! Right in his boner.
Oh, please. Quite a lot of skeletons there.
There's quite a lot.
I mean, if they were real, like Jesus, that's traumatizing. I feel bad for her, but
it's effective.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what. Maybe they didn't tell.
I mean, they don't look real. They're just very, very well done.
Fucking
look at
hell. That. Listen. I got to get there. Did she not just fall in?
Like, imagine, like, your distressed neighbour, you know, being like, please help me.
Yeah.
And you're like,
no, it's okay.
Sure. This moment I love.
Again, another Spielberg moment.
Yeah. But I learnt, actually, whenever I was in film school.
Yeah. To do this.
I learnt how that actually works.
Yes, you're moving and
turning. Yeah, exactly the same time. And I was like, oh,
push pull.
I can do the thing. And I loved it. I love this gaping like
vagina.
Throat. Really? Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. It's like a throat. It's like a mouth.
It is actually, isn't it?
I mean, it looks quite physically, demanding, to
well,
doesn't it though?
Yes. Like,
I mean, do you think that was a stunt double that Jo Beth had, or do you think that she was genuinely like floating in the air? Obviously, this is a fake doll.
I think she's had a few stunt doubles throughout.
Yeah.
Definitely, because you're not seeing her face when she's doing the floating and the falling. When she fell down the stairs, it was quite obvious.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Double. Not a great grip, but do it anyway.
Oh lordy.
See, if that was Tobe, she'd be like, I want my blankie.
It's another classic line. God help me.
Yeah. Yay! Oh,
and here's Dad home.
He's always looked like an old man, hasn't he? Like an older
Craig
man.
Nelson's always looked quite old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put that down to an electrical surge. I'd be like, no.
I wouldn't know that for no one.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean, right? But
definitely not.
Love, absolutely cracker,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh fuck. Oh, bye-bye.
I see him letting them go. But I love all these incredible moments. The skeletons, the coffin shitting up through the ground, and all of this is incredible. It's so well done. Oh, he's like, Clue's like, fucking, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, he didn't move them.
Oh, the headstone.
Yeah, another classic line.
Yeah.
Here comes more. Wonderful.
Now there's a theme park kind of thing you want to.
You would love that, right?
Universal Studios, come on, let's get a bit of a.
I'm sure they did back in the day when they were doing their Halloween Horror Nights. Love that shot and the light on her face. Just so well done.
Glad they got the dog, eh?
Yeah. And then you're like, where the hell's Dana?
Yeah.
Yeah, she appears obviously at the end.
So, I wonder, was there another reason?
Oh, I love this.
For her being out of it for the most part?
Dana?
Or was she just genuinely?
No, I think they just genuinely I think the character was just they all left to go to their friends, and she's now appeared back with her hickey.
What's up? Fucking moment, Daddy!
But I love this because now the whole street's getting affected by this.
Everyone's involved.
This is no longer just...
But again, massive.
Yeah. Huge. Look, I love this. Fantastic. Everything is just look.
Yeah.
It's all just blowing and...
It's like being on the Twister ride at Universal Studios.
Oh my god, that scared the shite out of me.
When everything does lift up.
Yeah, literally, and then the thing drops back down. I thought it was coming down on us and I hit the dirt. So it did.
Look at this.
Love it.
Spectacular,
It's literally
isn't it?
folding in on itself. It's wonderful.
I've never had to experience that kind of thing, like, but
I mean, if I ever experienced that level of paranormal activity, I would
be out of there.
be dead. I think I wouldn't. Mentally, I couldn't cope.
You would just fall
You
to the
would,
ground,
yeah. You
curl
just
up
be
in a
like,
ball.
I can't do this.
Oh.
Well, that's what you get, you fucking wanker.
All he's thinking is, now I'm bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. I do love this, the very last shot of this movie. Do you know what it is?
Can't remember.
I love it. Cuesta Verde.
Cheery bye.
You're now leaving Cuesta Verde. I'm sure they're like, thank fuck for that. See ya!
As long as it's not like that unwanted, ghastly end scene from Big Trouble in Little China where the monster climbs up on the back of the truck.
under the truck, yeah. Which left it open for, I would have loved to have seen a Big Trouble sequel, but...
Well...
Yeah.
Actually, nah. They're talking right now about remaking it with The Rock.
No.
Definitely not.
No. Sorry,
Definitely
love The Rock,
not.
but no.
No.
There's no Kurt Russell.
No. But it also, yeah. Anyway, we're not on that one. But
No.
yes, it's another story altogether.
Yeah.
So let's hope that there's another better twist at the end of this.
It's not a twist.
Or an end scene, yeah.
It's. I just find it comical. I think it's
okay.
very funny because I'd probably do the same thing.
Holiday Inn.
We at the hotel, Holiday Inn. I'm surprised you didn't know that song, George.
I have that in the car.
Oh my god.
I'm hip.
Well, the song is no longer hip, so there we go.
Is that Pitbull? Yeah.
I mean, I love that. Yes, it is Pitbull, yeah.
Best singer of all time.
Oh god.
That is hilarious, actually.
I love that because that's exactly what I do.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
get that out. Although if you owned that really, you'd be so pissed off. Can you imagine the piss and rain? You came and you seen one of your TVs sitting. You'd be like, what the fuck are they doing?
at least unplug it, turn it round.
I know, right? But there we are. Poltergeist. What a lovely film to revisit.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just?
What a lovely film. This is a horror movie. What a lovely film to revisit.
For us sick fuckers.
I mean, classic Spielberg collaborators. Kathleen Kennedy is in
there's
there.
a lot there, yeah. And you can see, obviously,
Mike Fenton
where the
cast
team
a lot.
began and have just grown massively. Oh, is that like from Elf or something?
No, it's from Poltergeist. Richard Edlund, Rick Edlund.
It's very Christmassy, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it. Featuring
Zelda
Zelda Rubinstein. I mean, she